So when you came in this morning, you should have found a Stagecoach ticket on a seat, either your seat or a seat around you. And by the way, if you need to, if someone else took your ticket, take it back. Don't put up with that nonsense in church. And I'd love to know what you're thinking when you find something like this on your seat, right? You know, what in the world are we going to be? I actually tried to get a Stagecoach to have in the room this morning, and evidently it's not that available anymore. So, in the Wild West, I give you that because I want to know, in the Wild West, the Stagecoach had 3 types of passengers. You could have 3 kinds of tickets. One was a first-class ticket, one was a second-class ticket, and the other is but you already knew that. Okay, all right, so a third-class ticket, right. So if you bought a first-class ticket, what it meant was that you would get on the Stagecoach and you would sit down no matter what. If the Stagecoach gets stuck in the mud or an axle breaks or anything like that, you just stay right where you are and someone else will take care of what the problem is. Second-class ticket holders would also sit down until there was a problem. And then they had to get off the Stagecoach. Now, they could go sit in the shade or go sit down somewhere else and watch as the work was being done, but they didn't have to do anything, and when the work was done, they'd get back on the Stagecoach and take off. Third-class ticket holders also sat on the Stagecoach until there was a problem, but when they got off, third-class passengers actually had to fix the problem, no matter what it was. If the Stagecoach wasn't making it up the hill, they had to get behind the Stagecoach and help push it up the hill. If the Stagecoach wheel got stuck in the mud, they had to get out and help push the Stagecoach out. If the axle broke, they had to act like a human jack and hold the Stagecoach up until that wheel could be replaced. Listen, I just want to say, having been in ministry for over 3 decades, let me just have a moment of honesty. What I've observed over that time period is that's how some people relate to the church. Some people go to church on first-class tickets, and they sit there, and they expect to be served and fed and waited on and catered to. Some people come on second-class tickets. They ride along, but when there's something that needs to be done, they become spectators, and they stand off to the side, and they watch other people do it. And more often than not, what I've noticed is they don't just watch, they actually criticize the work that's being done, that they're watching, right? And they become complacent, content to be complacent of those who are going to do the work. But then there are third-class ticket holders. And they watch, they're there, they sit until there's a problem, then they go off, and then they push, and they serve, and they help. They work in our landscaping outside. They change diapers in the nursery. They smile and welcome you when you walk in the door on Sunday morning. Some of them stay up all night with students at retreats and lock-ins, right? Bless your heart. We had one of our young ladies who works in our children's ministry this morning who, because the kids brought their Bibles all last month, she ate a cricket in children's worship this morning. Listen, that's spiritual sacrifice right there. Some support the mission of the kingdom financially. They will do whatever it takes to serve Jesus and his people. The question is, what kind of ticket are you holding?